Big Ideas to Ponder, Not So Ancient Civilizations, Unit 3. Disclaimer. This video is intended to provide background information for a unit survey of a number of civilizations around the world over a broad range of time. Generally speaking, the civilizations we will study in this unit existed after so-called ancient times, but before the Middle Ages, Renaissance, and Reformation periods. By the end of this video, you will be able to define each of these vocabulary words: generalization, concept, and fact. You will be able to identify generalizations, concepts, and facts accurately. You will be able to explain what a select generalization for this unit means in your own words, and you will post questions you have about this content to a Moodle discussion forum. Let's get started. Key vocabulary. Generalization is a statement about the way the world works. The statement can be supported by factual evidence. For example, we could say that powerful empires have strong leaders. We're making a general statement about a characteristic of governments who are considered to be powerful. We're not addressing a specific government like the Persian Empire or the Greek Empire or the Roman Empire, but we're identifying a tendency or a trend among empires that have been considered powerful in the past. Now, in addition to generalizations, we have something called concepts. Concepts are big ideas, a universal thing or notion that everybody kind of understands, but maybe it's a little hard to define. A generalization is showing the relationship among some of these concepts or big ideas. Now, some examples of concepts would be power, empire, and leader. And again, we're not talking here about a specific person or government or place, but we're speaking in big, broad terms. That's really important to understanding this vocabulary because generalizations and concepts are transferable. What that means is that they can be true in multiple places, for multiple people, and in different historical time periods. It's almost like reading a book and identifying a theme of the book that is true not just when the book was written or for the characters in the book, but is also true for people who have lived in different eras all over the world. So when we're talking about generalizations and concepts, we're showing things that we believe to be true, but we're not speaking necessarily in factual terms. Let me keep explaining. A fact is a piece of information or data that applies to particular people living in a specific time or place. And let me say that again. Factual statements are locked in time and or place. Here's an example. The Greek Empire expanded its territory while Alexander the Great was in power. That's a fact. We can prove it. We can research what Alexander the Great did during his reign, and we can look at how the territory of the Greek Empire increased. That's only true for Alexander the Great and the Greek Empire. Alexander was never the leader of a different empire, and he didn't acquire territory for any other government. The Greek Empire, this specific government in this particular place in this one time period, and Alexander the Great, a unique individual who lived in the past, they're locked in time and place. They belong to a particular time and location. However, this fact shows that a powerful empire with a strong leader gets things done. So we could use the factual information we know about Alexander the Great to prove that our generalization, powerful empires have strong leaders, is true. Let's practice a little bit and see if you're getting the hang of this. You've got a list on this slide of both concepts and facts. Remember, concepts are big ideas, and facts are specific details that belong to a particular place or time period. I want you to pause the video right now, and I want you to read the list that we have on the screen, and I want you to see if you can identify which ones are concepts or big ideas and which ones are facts. We'll check your understanding in just a minute. Pause the video now and go through this list and decide concept or fact. All right, you've had a chance to look at the list, so let's see how you did. The concepts or big ideas that exist across different times and places are highlighted in red on this screen. The facts, which are locked in time or place, their specific details about particular locations or time periods, are highlighted in yellow. Check and see if you were able to tell which things were concepts and which things were facts. All right, let's practice a little bit more. Let's see if you can identify generalizations from factual statements. Generalizations could be true in a lot of different times and places. They talk to us about how the world works. Factual statements are going to apply to specific people, places, and time periods. So read the list that you have on your screen, pause the video, and decide again which of these are generalizations, which of them are factual statements. All right, check your work. Again, the generalizations, the broad transferable statements or themes about the way the world works are highlighted in red. The factual statements are listed in yellow. Check and see how you did. We're going to do one more practice set, and then I'm going to give you some final instructions. One more time, guys. Let's try this. Read the statements below. Decide which ones are generalizations, broad thematic statements that explain how the world works, and which ones are factual statements. So how'd you do? I bet you're starting to get the hang of it now because we've done a lot of examples. If you still have some questions, we're going to be talking about this and working on it quite a bit in class over the next few days. But to get started on that, there's one more thing I want you to do. What you see on the right in white are the 8 generalizations or broad thematic statements that we're going to talk about and discuss in Unit 3. For practice, look at your directions in yellow. I want you to choose one statement from the list. I want you to identify or list the concepts, the big ideas that are found in that statement. I want you to define each of those concepts in just a couple of words, 3, 5, 7 words. And then I want you to explain in your own words what your statement means. If it helps you to give an example using some facts that you know, that would be just fine. I've done the first statement for you. Remember, you're just picking one for practice right here. Here's my example. Powerful empires have strong leaders. Okay? The concepts that are in this statement are power, empire, and leader, and I've given a definition of each of those concepts in my own words. Finally, in step 4, I've explained what this statement means. It's basically saying if the person in control is strong, then the government will also be strong. So now I want you to pause the video one more time. I want you to pick any of the remaining 7 statements in white at the right, and I want you to work through the same steps that I did to explain what's happening in this statement. You're going to bring your work to class to show me for homework credit. I've also created a discussion forum for you so that you can post questions about this video. Please feel free to read questions that other students have posted, but don't respond to those questions right now. That'll be my job. I'll see you in class and we'll do a lot more work on this idea. Thanks for listening.